The New York Yankees have been busy making moves, and one of the most talked about transactions recently was the trade of first base prospect T.J. Rumfield to the Colorado Rockies in exchange for a young relief pitcher, Anil Shively. At 23 years old, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing 162 pounds, Shively is a project with potential but also clear areas that need development. His numbers from last season with the Rockies were far from impressive, posting a 7.06 earned run average over 43 appearances and 58 2/3 innings pitched, with 43 strikeouts and a 1.688 whip. On paper, these statistics raise concerns, especially in terms of control, but the Yankees are acquiring a player with a high ceiling and 5 years of team control, which adds significant long-term value. Shively's strengths are evident in his velocity and ability to generate swings and misses, consistently throwing at 97 miles per hour, which gives him the raw tools that a coach like Matt Blake, who has a history of developing project pitchers, can refine. His ground ball rate is another positive indicator, suggesting that if his mechanics and control can be polished, he could become a reliable contributor to the bullpen. The Yankees, known for their willingness to take calculated risks on young arms, are hoping that with proper guidance and adjustments, Shively can grow into a dependable reliever. In essence, the trade makes sense when viewed from a developmental perspective. Rumfield, while a talented prospect, faced an uphill battle to reach the major leagues with the Yankees, and trading him for a high-upside pitcher who might be molded into a key bullpen piece fits the team's strategy of building depth with controllable talent. This approach is not new for the Yankees, who have consistently invested in young pitchers who require refinement. Alongside Shively, the organization recently acquired Cade Windquest in the Rule 5 draft, a flamethrower capable of reaching 100 miles per hour, as well as Don Hamiloff waivers. These moves signal a clear philosophy. The Yankees are committed to developing project pitchers who possess exceptional tools but may need guidance to reach their full potential. However, this strategy raises an ongoing question about the bullpen's composition. While the top 3 relievers, David Bednar, Camilo Doval, and Fernando Cruz, offer stability and experience, the depth beyond that tier is more uncertain, with players like Jake Bird, Paul Blackburn, Brent Hedrick, and Tim Hill filling the remaining spots. Although Tim Hill brings reliability, the overall strength of the bullpen after the top 3 is less than elite, making the development of younger pitchers like Shively critical for sustaining bullpen performance throughout a long season. Despite Shively's high earned run average, the potential upside cannot be overlooked. He possesses the attributes that could allow him to evolve into a middle or late inning reliever, a role the Yankees desperately need to solidify. For a team aiming to compete at the highest level, having a mix of established arms and high upside projects is a balancing act, and acquiring a pitcher with the velocity and raw skills of Shively is a calculated gamble. This move also reflects the Yankees' broader strategy of investing in young, controllable talent rather than relying solely on proven veterans, allowing for flexibility in roster construction and financial planning. It is a move that makes sense strategically, even if the immediate results are uncertain. Shifting focus from pitching to infield prospects, the Yankees have reportedly expressed interest in shortstop C.J. Abrams. Abrams, a young player who last season posted a batting average in the mid-20-something range with 19 home runs, offers potential as a left-handed bat, but presents defensive limitations that complicate his fit within the Yankees roster. With the current depth chart at shortstop and the presence of players like Anthony Volpe, whose defensive performance has fluctuated over recent seasons, it is unclear where Abrams would slot in. His offensive profile suggests promise, particularly with power numbers and potential for development, but the Yankees must carefully weigh whether adding him addresses a pressing need or merely adds another left-handed bat without improving overall roster balance. Adding Abrams could be intriguing from a talent standpoint, but it also raises questions about positional fit and long-term development. The Yankees' interest, as reported by sources, seems cautious, indicating that while Abrams is recognized as a talented player, he is not necessarily a top priority for the team. The Nationals' willingness to move him may reflect organizational shifts or a desire to restructure rather than a lack of potential. For the Yankees, Acquiring a player like Abrams would need to align with a broader strategy of constructing a competitive roster while managing service time and payroll considerations. The risk versus reward calculus is complex, as Abrams' skill set provides both potential upside and defensive uncertainty. Meanwhile, discussions about former Yankees player Paul Goldschmidt have also surfaced, highlighting the nuances of roster management and player evaluation. Goldschmidt, who had an impressive first half of the previous season but struggled after June, presents an interesting case as a potential bench option or situational player, particularly against left-handed pitching. With a projected salary of $4 to $5 million, his acquisition would be a relatively low-risk move that could add depth without significant financial burden. The Yankees have a history of bringing back players familiar with the organization when opportunities align, and Goldschmidt's experience and adaptability make him a candidate for such a role. Evaluating his potential contributions requires a careful look at his recent performance trends and the specific gaps he could fill within a roster. In the realm of highly regarded prospects, Jason Dominguez remains a name of interest and discussion among Yankees fans. Despite an underwhelming previous season, Dominguez has consistently ranked among the top 50 prospects in Major League Baseball since signing with the Yankees, demonstrating the organization's recognition of his talent and the league-wide acknowledgement of his potential. At 22 years old, soon to be 23 by opening day, Dominguez has time to develop and refine his game, and the criticism surrounding his recent performance should be tempered by his age and prior achievements. The Yankees' approach to handling such prospects emphasizes patience and long-term growth, trusting that players with elite tools can overcome temporary setbacks with proper development and support from the coaching staff. Dominguez's case also underscores the complexity of talent evaluation in Major League Baseball. While some observers may question the league's valuation of certain players, consistent rankings and attention from multiple organizations suggest that Dominguez's potential has always been recognized. The Yankees' commitment to his development, paired with strategic decisions regarding trades, acquisitions, and minor league placements, reflects an organizational philosophy that balances immediate needs with long-term projections. In the competitive landscape of professional baseball, nurturing young talent while maintaining a competitive roster requires a careful mix of risk management, scouting insight, and coaching expertise. As the Yankees continue to explore potential trades, acquisitions, and player development strategies, the focus remains on building a roster capable of contending at the highest level. The combination of young arms like Shively, potential infield additions such as Abrams, and the continued development of elite prospects like Dominguez illustrates the multifaceted approach the organization employs. Each move is measured not only by its immediate impact, but also by its contribution to sustaining a high-performing team over multiple seasons. Balancing experienced veterans with project players and high-ceiling prospects is a delicate process, but it is one the Yankees have embraced in pursuit of long-term success and championship aspirations. Looking ahead, the Yankees' roster decisions extend far beyond trades and acquisitions. The organization has consistently demonstrated a willingness to explore unconventional paths to strengthen the team, blending a mix of established veterans with high-upside young talent. In the bullpen, for instance, the integration of project pitchers like Anil Shively and Cade Windquest illustrates a philosophy of calculated experimentation. While some fans may worry about over-reliance on improving arms, this approach is grounded in analytics and long-term planning. Shively's ability to reach 97 miles per hour and generate swings and misses represents the kind of raw talent that, with refinement, could evolve into a dominant late-inning reliever. Likewise, Windquest's ability to throw 100 miles per hour makes him a potential weapon, provided he can control his pitches and translate velocity into consistent performance. These moves highlight the Yankees' commitment to building depth while taking advantage of 5-year team control and contract flexibility. The bullpen, however, remains a critical point of focus. Beyond the top 3 arms, David Bednar, Camilo Doval, and Fernando Cruz, the depth chart is more uncertain, relying on players like Jake Bird, Paul Blackburn, Brent Hedrick, and Tim Hill to fill the remaining innings. While each of these players has unique strengths, the consistency and reliability of the bullpen as a whole can fluctuate. The Yankees' strategy of supplementing this group with project pitchers is a calculated gamble, balancing the potential for high reward against the inherent risk of inconsistency. In this context, Shively represents a move that aligns with the broader philosophy, acquiring a young pitcher with elite tools who may require development but offers long-term upside that could transform the back end of the bullpen. The organization has consistently invested in this model, trusting the coaching staff to mold talent and mitigate the risks of raw but high-potential acquisitions. On the offensive side, the Yankees' approach remains equally strategic, particularly with regard to infield and shortstop positions. Interest in C.J. Abrams reflects a desire to explore potential enhancements to the lineup, even if his defensive limitations complicate immediate fit. Abrams' ability to hit for power, posting 19 home runs last season, presents offensive potential, but his struggles at shortstop and overall defensive metrics raise questions about his role on a team that values strong infield defense. The Yankees must consider not only what a player can do at the plate, but how he impacts the overall defensive alignment and balance of the roster. Abrams' addition would need to complement, rather than disrupt, the team's strategic positioning, particularly with emerging prospects like Anthony Volpe and existing contributors in the infield rotation. Roster construction also involved evaluating cost versus contribution. Paul Goldschmidt's situation highlights the importance of assessing value in the context of recent performance trends. After an impressive first half last season, Goldschmidt struggled post-June, particularly against left-handed pitching, which influenced his current market value. At an estimated $4 to $5 million, Goldschmidt could return as a bench player or situational contributor, offering flexibility without a significant financial burden. This scenario illustrates the Yankees' ability to reintegrate familiar players in a manner that maximizes roster efficiency, utilizing experience and prior performance as a guide while minimizing risk. Such moves reinforce the team's broader strategy of balancing proven talent with emerging players, ensuring that every roster slot contributes meaningfully to both immediate success and future potential. Meanwhile, the narrative around Jason Dominguez underscores the organization's long-term commitment to player development. Dominguez, a top 50 prospect consistently recognized by Major League Baseball, has faced criticism following an underwhelming previous season. However, at 22 years old and approaching 23 by opening day, he remains a young player with significant upside. The Yankees' patient approach emphasizes refinement and growth, trusting that a player with elite tools and prior success in prospect rankings can overcome temporary setbacks. This philosophy extends beyond individual players, shaping the organization's approach to talent evaluation, acquisition, and promotion, ensuring that high-ceiling prospects receive opportunities to translate potential into consistent major league performance. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Whispers around baseball circles suggest that Derek Jeter may have finally broken his long-standing public restraint when it comes to the New York Yankees, and the message, if true, is far from comfortable for the current clubhouse. According to people close to the organization, the former captain has expressed growing frustration with what he allegedly sees as a lack of discipline and competitive obsession in today's team culture. While Jeter has not delivered an official statement, the tone of the comments attributed to him has fueled intense speculation about a widening generational gap inside the franchise. The remark circulating most insistently is blunt and cutting, very much in line with the image Jeter cultivated during his playing days. "In my time, the focus was on winning, not Instagram," he is said to have told a small group in a private setting. Those words alone were enough to ignite debate, as they appear to question not only individual habits, but the overall priorities shaping the modern Yankees. The suggestion is not that players lack talent, but that the daily standards that once defined the team may have softened. Insiders interpret the alleged criticism as less about social media itself and more about accountability, preparation, and respect for the uniform. Jeter's era was synonymous with quiet professionalism, internal leadership, and an almost ruthless commitment to detail. The rumor implies that he believes those values are no longer as deeply ingrained, replaced by a culture where personal branding sometimes competes with collective responsibility. For an organization that still trades heavily on its history, the idea that its most iconic leader is uneasy with the present carries weight, even if unconfirmed. Some within the Yankees ecosystem view the supposed comments as a wake-up call, while others dismiss them as nostalgia colliding with a different generation. Either way, the speculation alone underscores a lingering question hovering over the Bronx, whether the standards that once defined the Yankees are being upheld or merely remembered. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.